Hello, Fahir Atakoğlu.
Hello, everyone.
First of all, I would love to thank you because as a Radio Classical Turquoise, we are massive fan of yours, also our listeners as well. And we are absolutely honored that you accepted our interview and amazing. How are you? How is
Thank,
life in US?
thank you so much. I thank you. Well, life in the U.S. is always as everywhere with COVID and all. It's very difficult. It's getting the cases are getting high. It's scary, but we're staying home. Thank God I have music, so I can stay home.
True. Well, before I start my interview, this program started with some selections of your songs and mainly from your latest album, For Love. And
Yes.
well, you are an artist who doesn't need much introduction. Your fans here already know most of your albums, almost all of your albums. And
Good.
you are also, I like to inform you, our Artist of the Week this week.
Oh, great! I'm so honored. Thank you very much, guys.
So we're going to play a different album every day, 2 hours a day, selections of your music, and just wanted to inform you about that.
That's great. Thank you.
And let's talk about your fabulous last album. It's a few months ago it's been released, For Love.
Yes.
How
Yes. For love.
how did you produce it? Tell us the story of the album, please.
Well, it's been a while that I haven't had my sort of album on my name. I've released many albums of the music that I wrote for films and movie soundtracks and so on. But this one, it's been in the works for a long time, I should say, because I've been planning to do an album actually with songs. All songs, all my compositions that was written lyrics and became songs. I wanted to get different artists from different around the world, parts of the world, to write lyrics and to sing the songs, my compositions in their language, in their own language, and that's how it started. And it then Gonca Buica, flamenco artist, sang one of my songs called Lal. Everybody knows it as Lal in
Yes,
Turkey.
yes.
She wrote
Is the
lyrics.
most played song in our radio.
Yes, she wrote lyrics as Por Amor, and Luciana Sloza wrote lyrics to one of my other compositions called Dargın Değilim. Actually, I wrote that many years ago for Adnan Menderes, and for that documentary. And then Luciana Souza wrote some lyrics, and the song changed to bossa nova and all that. Romero played some guitar, and Amy Allen, another jazz singer from the United States, from New York, sang two of my compositions. And Letizia Gambi, an Italian singer, sang one of my compositions. So I was going, as I said, for the whole compositions with songs. But then I decided at the last minute that I should add some, instrumental
Yes.
music to it. So
Yes.
the album became like, I believe, 5 songs and 8 instrumentals. And they all turned out to be about love. It was interesting because I didn't tell them what I write about the lyrics.
Okay.
And they wrote the lyrics, and when it all came around, it was all about love. And at the same time, it's another karma. I mean, I should say, at the same time, my wife was painting something, and that picture became the cover of the album.
Amazing.
So
I didn't know that. I didn't take
the cover.
amazing
Yeah.
cover. Amazing cover.
Thank you.
Congratulations to your wife.
Yeah, it's a bigger picture than that, but the Selin Eşit, our graphic artist, did the graphic work, and became like a heart and everything. So, I mean, this album, it's just a good karma. I mean, it's all about love. I wanted to talk about, always I want to talk about love, because love, I think, is the most important thing in our lives and the most powerful thing. And I'm so happy that I could put together the songs and the music, in Actually, during COVID,
Yes.
just before COVID, but during COVID, I recorded the strings in March, actually. In March, between 10th and 13th in New York, and it was so interesting because nobody was really caring about COVID and everything, but I was lucky too.
True.
So yeah, it was came together really well, and I'm so happy. Thank you.
It's an amazing album. Por Amor is the most requested song of our radio history.
Really?
Still
Oh,
number
God.
one in our most wanted list.
Nice.
And it's amazing song. And Buyka, of course, added a wonderful vocal on it as well.
Yes.
And-
I mean, other vocalists put their hearts into it, and it was my luck that they could all write the lyrics and
Absolutely.
sing it at the same time.
Absolutely.
You know, that put another level to their, passion.
True.
well.
They
Yeah.
felt the album. We can hear that as the listeners. Everybody who contributed, they felt every note of it.
Yes.
And also that Por Amor was also your famous song Lal, performed by Sertab Erener.
Yes, of course, in 1994.
1994.
That's right. It was actually the melody that I wrote for the 12 of March, the documentary, one of the recent Turkish history
Yes.
documentaries.
Yes.
And then Sezen Aksu wrote some lyrics to it, Turkish lyrics.
Yes.
It became Lal, and Sertab sang it. And at the time, as an instrumental, people loved it. But when it was a song, it was another level, and I'm so happy. People still like it. It's great for a composer to be able to write
It's a classic.
such a melody.
It's a classic. Absolutely. Yeah, and you are a musical ambassador of Turkey. Absolutely. There's
Wow, thank you.
no argument about it. And your albums are, as well as Turkish motifs like Istanbul in Blue, you have lots of Latin influences as well.
Yeah. I mean, when you say Latin, I mean, my drummer, I shouldn't say my drummer, the drummer that I work with, my dear friend, Horacio Negro Hernandez, is from Cuba, and I've been working with him a long time now, over 10 years.
Yes.
I found something with him that is, that really speaks to me, and he loves my compositions too. So the Latin influence, African and Latin influence, always, was in my sort of DNA.
Yes,
because
true.
I listened to many, and with him, with Horacio, I found that our rhythms like 9/8 and 10/8 and 5/8, like the odd
Yes.
rhythms, those, those are, how should I say, difficult in a way, but it's strange rhythms for Europeans in other parts of the world. But as a Cuban, he could understand me, and we could
True.
really create something unique in between us for the albums that we did. All of them was with him, and of course, different bass players, bring a dimension to Alain Caron, Anthony Jackson,
True. Yes.
Joe Patitucci, on
Yes,
Faces
indeed.
and Places played with me.
Yes.
Those people are. I mean, in my music, it's just Hans Zimmer has a sentence. It says, "Cast your musicians well." It's very important because when you write a composition and when you play with other people, you expect them to play those melodies, but I expect them to bring something from them.
Yes. True.
That is their style and personality and their heart.
True. I was going to
I
ask.
was very lucky to be able to play with those musicians. That's what I want to say, actually.
Yes, I was going to ask you about that subject actually. Like when you finish a composition, do you give the scores to all musicians note by note, or do you let them free
No.
in the session?
No, not one. Never. I give them the melody, the chords and everything. And if I had time, I sometimes record a demo with computer and everything I have here, and then we get together and play. No, never.
You don't dictate them.
And even the arrangements that I think of sometimes change as we play.
Wonderful.
So that's the freedom of jazz and
True,
music.
true. That's why your music is so alive and so. I mean, I've been listening Istanbul in Blue for years, and
Yeah.
I can't get enough of it. I'm never bored of it. It's always something in there that I miss.
Yeah. I have a story for the listeners that I can tell about that album, actually, because we were talking about these alt tempos, 5/8s and 9/8s. When I first wanted to record the album, I went to Mike Stern, the guitarist, and we got together and we listened to all of the songs. But at the end, he says it's great and everything, but I don't want to play the 5/8s and 7/8s because, I can't feel it. I said, why not? He says it's either one more or one less. You know what I mean? Because it's like nothing but 4/4.
Yes.
But for jazz, some of the jazz musicians are like that. But anyhow, Wayne Krantz came in and played the other ones that had the odd tempos. If you look at the album, you can see that Wayne is always playing the other ones. So.
I mean, what I think is the biggest. That's why I call you ambassador of Turkish music, because those rhythms are still, I think, worth to dive into, because there are so many secrets in them, and not enough of them in the music world. I mean, I remember Dave Brubeck started with 9/8 and things like that.
Yeah. I mean, in the world, it's not just the east part of the world actually there, but it's all over the world. It's just what you can do with it. It's the melody that and the musicianship and because I mean it is at the end the melody and the timbres.
Yes.
I mean, Horacio Negro, as a Cuban, he came to Turkey like 15 years ago. And when he first came to Turkey, he was so surprised that everybody in the stadium was clapping to 9/8.
Yes.
Because 9/8 is what we live with.
True, absolutely.
But he was surprised. So I told him that I feel the same when I hear a 12/8, like and how you guys, what you do with that, and Africans and Cubans, and it's the same kind of feeling,
True.
But we all live around it,
True. I would also like to talk about your TV series and film scores. I mean,
yes.
You did, if I'm remembering correctly, you did the Magnificent Century for the TV series, and they're amazing. Like, they're not just a film score. You didn't feel like a here little sound, there little sound. They are absolutely masterpieces. How do you feel it?
Thank you so much. Thank you for the nice words. Well, I mean, it depends. I mean, it really starts with the subject and what you can do with it and how they shoot. Because I mean, the movies, TV. You're part of the big production, and sometimes the weight of the music, is necessary. Sometimes the music has to stay behind. But in Turkish TV dramas, especially in Magnificent Century, music was really up there, all the time.
Yes.
Used. And I guess that's why it became sort of they loved the music as well. It could have been a nuisance, but they loved the music for 4 seasons.
As a neutral point of view, like I never seen a single episode of it, because I don't watch, unfortunately, Turkish TV from here. I don't watch many TV, but as an album, yes, and as an album, even if I'd never seen the film, even if I don't know what's the stories about, it stands out as like a masterpiece. That's what amazes me.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, yes, it turned out to be really great work. Which I must say that I did that score with 2 other people. Aytekin Ataş and Soner Akalın. Those 2 composers, they have their own compositions in those albums that came out after the series. So and when I did the movie, movies, maybe music for movies, I just, I love doing it. I put my heart into it, and it's really something that I really enjoy doing it.
Fantastic.
And I feel it.
Fantastic.
In other, you can find it in my other movie scores as well.
True. All of them are an album on its own, even without the films. I can say too.
Thank you. That's beautiful. Thank you so much. Yeah. I mean, and melody is my sort of starting point always.
Yes.
And I'm so blessed. I mean, I always say that we as musicians, artists, we are all, I think, channeling something that is already out there.
True.
And we are the luckiest people on earth.
Absolutely true. Well, I know it's very difficult talking about touring or live concerts and everything. If everything goes okay, if finally we turn to normal, what's the plan for Fahir Atakoğlu? Any touring, any live sessions, any live concerts?
Yes, of course. I mean, the new album, we're going to start doing concerts for this album.
Mm-hmm.
And I also had a project actually started before the pandemic started. It was called Songs of Hope.
Okay.
Music of Hope.
Uh-huh.
We haven't decided, but it was a project about to get attention to the refugee situation in the world. To get together with the refugee musicians or musicians from the parts of the world that have refugees or had the crisis and everything.
True.
And my main goal was to say something to the world through music.
Absolutely.
To make awareness about it, and it was a great project, and we were just starting, but the COVID hit, and we couldn't do it. So I'm hoping we do that. Over here in the United States, they sort of started selling places and venues for the next autumn.
Yes, true.
First it was for summer, but now they say that they don't think it's going to happen in summer. So 2021 autumn, we're hoping to do some things. I don't know.
Well, we are keeping our fingers crossed. Any plans? If you ever need a guest singer, I'm available. You know my phone number.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you so much.
Any plans for London?
Yeah, I think we should. I didn't play so much. Actually, not at all. Come to think of it. So I hope with this new album and everything, and we must come there. And I lived in London for 5 years.
Okay. Where about in US you are living now?
In Maryland, Potomac, Maryland. I live in the East Coast, near Washington, D.C.
Near Washington, D.C. Fantastic.
Yeah.
And do you have your own home studio, or do you record your albums in a major studios?
I have my home studio. I can record everything. I have my grand piano, Steinway, everything.
Wonderful.
But of course, I go to the studios to get together and play live at the same time. There are studios like that you can go and stay.
True.
That is much better, yeah.
Wonderful. Fahir Atakoğlu, thank you so much for accepting our invitation.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me, and I wish you all the success, and my best wishes for all the listeners. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and watch this week. You'll be on every day.
Okay, great. I'm going to go on the internet and listen to you guys.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very
for
much.
playing my music.
God bless. Goodbye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.